नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायम् उदीरे। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So welcome all for our evening Bhagavatam class. We are in the first canto, fifth chapter, and we have completed 20 shlokas. Today we are going to start from shloka number 21. So this is about Narad Muni is guiding, instructing Srila Vyasadeva and asking him to glorify the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, more vividly, more elaborately, because he has not yet done so. So here, let me share the screen for our chapter. Maybe you can raise your hands for reading. Okay. Yes, Sindhu Mataji, you can read. Will you read or you want to repeat after me, Mataji?
Yeah, I can read, Mataji.
Okay, okay. Yes.
Hi Krishna, pranams. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shloka 21. Tvam atmanatmanam avehi amogadrit parashya pumshah paramatmana kalam ajam prajatam jagata shibhayatan mahanubhava yodayo adigan yatham.
Yes.
Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the super soul personality of Godhead because you are present as the plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please, therefore, describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, more vividly.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to read the purport? Or because nobody has raised the hands? Okay, Mataji, you can read.
Hare Krishna, Mathaji.
Hare Krishna.
Shall
Yes,
I read,
Prabhu.
Mathaji?
Yes, Prabhuji, you can read. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mathaji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vyasadeva is the empowered plenary portion, incarnation of the personality of Godhead. Sri Krishna, he descended by his causeless mercy to deliver the fallen souls in the material world. The fallen and forgotten souls are detached from the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The living entities are parts and parcels of the Lord, and they are eternally servitors of the Lord. All the Vedic literatures, therefore, are put into systematic order for the benefit of the fallen souls, and it is the duty of the fallen souls to take advantage of such literatures and be freed from the bondage of material existence. Although formally Srila Narada Rishi is a spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva is not at all dependent on a spiritual master, because in essence, he is the spiritual master of everyone else. But because he is doing the work of an Acharya, he has taught us by his own conduct that one must have a spiritual master, even though he be God himself. Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Rama, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all incarnations of Godhead, accepted formal spiritual masters, although by their transcendental nature, they were cognizant of all knowledge. In order to direct people in general to the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, he himself in the incarnation of Vyasadeva is delineating the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Dandapanam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, in this shloka, there are many takeaway points. Like, first of all, Prabhupada is telling us that Srila Vyasadeva is the incarnation of the Lord, and he does not need any spiritual master, okay, because he is the spiritual master of everybody. How can the Jagat Guru, the spiritual master, have a spiritual master? But still, Srila Vyasadeva is accepting Srila Narad Muni as his spiritual master. Okay, why? To show us that every person in this material world, once you take birth in the material world, only your spiritual master is the person who can guide you in the correct way and take you one step towards the Lord. Okay, so if you don't have a spiritual master or you have not selected a spiritual master, or a spiritual master has not accepted you as a disciple, then actually you are in trouble. We are in trouble. Okay. So because Krishna's mercy can be obtained only through the Guru Shishya Parampara, authenticated Guru Shishya Parampara. Okay, we cannot directly approach Krishna in any way. We have to approach Krishna through our Guru itself. And Guru is always so merciful that he will approach his Guru and send our recommendation letter in this parampara ahead until it reaches to Lord Sri Krishna and Radharani. So that is the correct way of approaching Krishna. So therefore, though Vyasdev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he still is accepting Narad Muni as his Guru. And many times we have to go and search for a Guru, or to get mercy of a spiritual master is not that easy. Okay, but here we can see that in the beginning of the chapter, we saw that Narad Muni himself has come. And when he saw that my disciple is in somewhat trouble, is in a dilemma, is not sure of his actions, what he has done and what he should do, then he himself comes. So much mercy of Narad Muni that he comes to Vyasdev and is ready to give his support, is ready to guide him, is ready to instruct him. Okay, so here we have already seen that initially Vyasdev is asking Narad Muni, what is the problem? Why I am not happy? Narad Muni says, you have written all those things, correct? All the Vedas, you have described the impersonal Brahman, you have described Karma Kanda. But now he is telling that you did all these things, but you did not glorify the Lord. You did not glorify the pastimes of the Lord to the extent that to show the people that bhakti itself is the only way of going back to Godhead. No other means, no karma kanda, no other means is equal to going, is enough or is sufficient to take us back to Godhead. What is required? Just the bhakti of Lord Sri Krishna. So here in this shloka, Narad Muni is telling Vyasdeva that who you are. Please remember who you are. Who you are. So he says, Tvam Atmanam Aveya Amogadrik. So you can know by your own self whom the Lord. Why you can know by your own self? You don't need anybody to tell you who the Lord is and what are his pastimes and what are what you should write and what you should describe. You can on your own understand the glories of the Lord. You can on your own write the glories of the Lord. You can on your own describe and inculcate the seed of bhakti in so many people. Why? Because you yourself are the kala. Paramatmanaha kalam. He says in the second line, Parasya pumsaha paramatmana kalam. You are the incarnation of the Lord. So in the translation we can read, your goodness has perfect vision. How we know that Vyasdev is having perfect vision? In what incident? See, in Mahabharata or in during the pastime of Lord Sri Krishna, when he is instructing Arjuna the Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield, where is Sanjaya sitting? Sanjaya is sitting in the palace of Dhritarashtra, and he has a divine vision of seeing what is happening on the battlefield, and he is narrating what is happening, what Krishna is saying, and even he is understanding better than what Dhritarashtra can understand. Yeah, this all is happening. Why? Because he was given that vision, the spiritual vision, by whom? By his spiritual master, Srila Vyasdev. So if Vyasdev can give this spiritual vision, divine vision to Sanjaya, what can he do himself? Yeah, because ultimately he is the plenary portion of the Lord. So here he says, you have a very perfect vision. Okay, you don't need to see through my eyes. You don't need to see through anybody's eyes the glories of the pastimes of the Lord or the magnanimity of the Lord. You know it by yourself. Why? Because you yourself can know the super soul personality of Godhead. Because why? Because you are present as the plenary portion of the Lord. You yourself are the plenary portion of the Lord. So you can easily understand the glories and pastimes of the Lord. But although you are birthless, he's saying you are birthless. Why? Because he's the Lord. He cannot take birth. But still he has come on this, in this material world. You have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. So you have come to this world to pass on these pastimes to show the correct path to the people in general in this material world. So that is why you have taken birth in the material world, though you did not take it, because you are the supreme personality of God. You are part of parcel of the supreme personality of God. So two things here we can say. First thing is that nobody needs to actually elaborate or tell him or instruct Srila Vyasadeva what he should do and how he should do, because he himself is the supreme personality of God. And second thing, he has taken birth in this world for what? To deliver the people of this material world. Okay, to deliver the people of this material world. So these two incidences are sufficient for Vyasadeva to know that, okay, this is the correct, I can do it. Okay, till now what he has done, he has written all the Vedas, all the Itihasas, all the Puranas, but he has still not touched the Amala Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam. He has not yet written the pastimes of the Lord. He has not yet glorified the pastimes of the Lord. Therefore, Narad Muni is encouraging him to do this. Here again he says, the third line of the shloka we can see, Ajam Prajatam Jagata Shivayatan. So what this means? Ajam means birthless. Just now we read that. Prajatam means you have taken birth. Jagataha, in this world. Shivaya, for the well-being. Tat, for the well-being of the people. So here Ajam Prajatam, the one who is birthless but has taken birth for the good of people. Who is this person? Who is he talking about? Narad Muni is talking about whom?
Vyasadeva.
Vyasadeva. Right now he's talking to Vyasadeva and he's saying ki you have taken birth though you are unborn, though you don't need to take birth, still you have taken birth for delivering of the common people. Can we see it? Srila Jiva Goswami in his commentary, he has written one more very nice thing about this. He says Ajam Prajatam also applies to Sri Krishna. Yes, why? Because Vyasadeva and Sri Krishna are non-different in a sense. Okay, so just as Vyasadeva is Ajam Prajatam, he is not needed to take birth, but still he is taking birth to deliver the people in general. Similarly, Krishna also, he came on this on this earth to do what? To save the people in general. Okay, so that means here are again two things what Vyasadeva needs to actually consider. What is that? First is he himself is Ajam Prajatam. Therefore, he should deliver the people and therefore he should glorify the Lord. Are you understanding? One reason is Vyasadeva himself is Ajam Prajatam. That means Vyasadeva himself is birthless. Still he has taken birth to deliver the people in general. And therefore he should glorify the Lord. One way of this line in the shloka. The other way is that Vyasadeva should glorify the Lord because the Lord is Ajam Prajatam. Because the Lord is birthless, still he comes into this world, takes his own in the form of Krishna, and he has taken the form of Krishna and for what? To save the people in general. So that means the Lord is so magnanimous that he should be elaborately described, so that everybody should take advantage of the description of his name, fame, pastimes, and everything. That is why Vyasadeva should write about the pastimes of the Lord. Are you getting the two ways of looking towards that personality, Ajam Prajatam? So that because Vyasadeva is also Ajam Prajatam, so he should write about Krishna. And Krishna is Ajam Prajatam. That is the reason why Vyasadeva should write about Krishna. That is how Srila Narad Muni encourages Vyasadeva to write about, to elaborately describe the pastimes of the Lord and his devotees, so that will be beneficial for the people in general. They were still, before this, whatever Vyasadeva has written, due to that, the people in general were a little bit misguided. Yeah, because he had written about the impersonal Brahman. He had written about the Karma Kanda, and people were following that. And people were following that blindly because Vyasadeva had given that knowledge. So now it was the duty of Vyasadeva ji to write the glories of the Lord, which will make the people come into bhakti and perform their devotional activities, and then they can reach to the abode of Lord Sri Krishna. They can get the love of Lord Sri Krishna. That is why he should write. That is the thing. And second thing, Prabhupada told that he did not require a spiritual master to instruct these things to him, but he has accepted the master to teach us that everyone, each and every one of us should accept a spiritual master. That is the only way of progressing in our spiritual life. Okay, let us go ahead to the next shloka. Yes, please raise your hands to read. 2 hands I want, because one for reading the shloka and translation and one for...
Mataji, Ambika, and then yeah, Archana Mataji is raised her hand.
Okay, Ambika cannot see.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm there.
Okay, yes, please, Mataji, read.
Idam hi pums tatas just a second, Mataji. Idam hi pumsas tapasah shrutasya va shvitasya shuktasya cha buddhi dattayoh avichyuto drata kavibhir nirupato yad utma shloka gunanu varnanam.
Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Before reading the purport, I'll just explain a bit and then Archana Mataji, you can read the purport. So here, this shloka gives the prayojana, the object of worship of Lord. What is the prayojan? What is to be worshipped? The Lord and his pastimes. The Lord has to be worshipped. The pastimes have to be relished to worship the Lord. So that is the prayojan. Each and every activity which you do, each and every karma what you do, each and every purpose of each and every activity in your life is to pacify the Lord. Yeah, Lord has to be in the center of your life. So here he says, the purpose of advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study. Here we can see austerity, tapa. Tapa means austerity. Shrutasya, the study of the Veda, Shruti mantras. Svitasya, the purpose of sacrifice. Suktasya, the purpose of spiritual education. And dattayoho, the purpose of charity. Any activity, as long as we can consider any activity, that has to be performed, that culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, who is defined in the choice poetry. So everything culminates into the worship of Lord Sri Krishna, pacifying Lord Sri Krishna. That is what Narad Muni is telling. So what you have not explained those things to the people in general. They do not know why. You have told them how to do tapa, how to do austerity. You have told them how they should study the different Vedas. You have already given them the Vedas. You have told them how to perform the different sacrifices, yajna, different types of sacrifices. Also, you have told them to chant different types of mantras in a specific meter, in a specific fashion, correct way of pronunciation, everything you have told them. But you have not told them why you should do it. What is the purpose of doing all those things? So if somebody is performing sacrifices, performing a yajna to pacify the Lord, his sacrifice is complete. But if somebody is performing a sacrifice and he doesn't even consider that I am performing this sacrifice to satisfy the Lord, then that sacrifice has no meaning. Similarly, any austerity you do every Monday, every Saturday, every Friday, you are doing some upavas, you are doing some fasting. And you do not know why I am doing that fasting. How this fasting is going to take me one step closer to Krishna. You are doing Ekadashi, but you don't know that Ekadashi has to be performed for gaining the love of Krishna, for again going one step towards Krishna. So if you don't know that, then what is the use of doing that Ekadashi Vrata? So anything what you are doing in your life, that has to be done for the pleasure of Lord Sri Krishna. I will just show you one more shloka which we have recently read in the previous chapter. Yes. Ata pumbir dvija shrestha varnashrama vibhagashaha Swanushchitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. What does it say? Samsiddhir haritoshanam. Whatever, all varna and ashrama, whatever activities are to be done in this, any varna and ashrama, it is to please the personality of God.
Mataji, sloka number, can I see, Mataji? 1 second.
This is 1.2.13.
Okay, 2.13. Thank you.
1.2.13. Okay. And then how to please the Lord? Yeah, we know that, okay, all the purpose of all the varna and ashrama activities is to please the personality of God. So immediately the answer for this question, how to please the Lord, is given in the next shloka in the second chapter itself, where it says, Tasmadekena manasa Bhagavan Satvatam Pati Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Dheya Pujascha Nityada. What does it say? Therefore, with one pointed attention, that means whenever you are performing any activity to please the Lord, your complete mind, your complete intelligence, your complete sense, all your senses should be engrossed in doing that activity. One pointed attention. Yeah. One should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotees. That is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Vishnu Smaranam comes at the third stage. The first two stages are Shravanam and Kirtanam. Why? Because unless you do Shravan, unless you do Kirtan, you cannot remember Vishnu. You cannot remember Krishna. Just like any shloka in the previous few, 2-3 chapters when we were doing, every time most of you were reciting the first shloka. What was that? Janmadhyasya yata. Is it not?
Janmadhyasya
Yeah. So many of you are reciting. Yes. So many of you are reciting because you have heard it. You had done the shravan of the shloka. You had done the kirtan of the shloka, sung that shloka with your own mouth, with your own lips. And that is how you remembered Krishna. So now those who have recited loudly, those who have not yet recited loudly, but they have heard it so many times, anytime when you are going somewhere, when you are sitting somewhere, you may immediately somehow remember that shloka. There are so many shlokas that we just like that remember, right? There are some shlokas like...
Mataji, today we recited, Mataji, or maybe at the end we can recite.
I don't know, Mataji. Still you are reciting it every day? I was not...
Yeah, every day, yes, Mataji.
So at the end we can recite, Mataji. No problem.
Okay.
So what happens is that because of this hearing, now one of you is reciting, the others are hearing. So you are doing Shravanam. Then Kirtanam, yeah, the person who is wishing to sing that shloka, you are reciting it. Those who are not reciting with unmute, you must be reciting with keeping your mics off, but you are reciting. And that's why you remember Lord Krishna in that way. So Shravanam Vishnu, Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. So that is important. How you can remember Krishna, how you can perform every activity for the pleasure of Krishna, when you know how to please Krishna. When you have heard it from somebody how to please Krishna. If you are not at all knowing how to please Krishna, maybe you will not remember Krishna at all. Therefore, hearing, you are saying, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Why is it so important, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya? Because every day, when you hear something about Krishna, it makes you think about Krishna again and again. And therefore, whenever anything happens in your life, any problem comes, any uncertainties and uncertain thing happens, any smallest there is a glitch in your life, immediately you remember Krishna. Yeah, that is the purpose of reading Bhagavatam every day and understanding also to that in a particular situation how I should behave, because we have heard about it, how Prahlad Maharaj was behaving in so much of crisis, how Dhruva Maharaj behaved, how Ambarish Maharaj behaved, how Parikshit Maharaj is behaving when he knows that he only has 7 days. So when some difficulties come in our life, because we have heard about the great personalities, how they behaved in their life, that is how we also remember. And somewhere our reaction to our problems is, it's not extreme reactions. It comes to a point where we understand, okay, this situation was to come in my life, and this is how Krishna is going to protect me. This is how I should approach Krishna for the problems in my life. If the problems are not there, then also we should understand that even though there are no problems in my life, it is my duty to pacify the Lord. It is my duty to give pleasure to the Lord, and that is why every day we cook for Lord. Do we cook every day and offer bhoga because we have problems in our life? Do we do that only when we are in distress? No, we do it every day. Yeah, chanting every day. We are chanting. Is it that only when I am not feeling well, when there is some problem in my life, I'll pick up my bead bag and do the chanting? Are we doing that? No, we are chanting every day. Are you listening to Bhagavatam only when you have problems? No, every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day you are coming to hear Bhagavatam. So in all our normal situations of life also, when we are in trouble also, when we are in ecstasy also, every time we remember Krishna. Why? Because we are used to hearing and speaking about Krishna. Therefore, Shravanam Kirtana, Vishnu Smarana is very important, so that in all parts of our life, in all the phases of our life, we can remember Krishna and we can approach Krishna. Okay, that is what, and that why are we able to do those things? Because Vyasdev was guided by Narad Muni to write this Bhagavatam. He wrote this Bhagavatam. We are reading this Bhagavatam. We are hearing this Bhagavatam. We are relishing this Bhagavatam, keeping it in our mind. And that is why it is helping us. And that is the only purpose why Narad Muni told Vyasdev to write the glories of the Lord. So that the people like us, still after so many years, we are still getting the benefit of the scriptures which Srila Vyasdev has written back then. So we should always be thankful to Srila Vyasdev. That is why at the beginning of the Bhagavatam class, we always recite the shlokas glorifying Saraswati Devi, Vyasdev, and Nar Narayan Rishi and everything. Okay. So yes, let us read the purport. We are going to read only one paragraph. Why? Because in the first paragraph, we will read something, and later Prabhupada gives different examples why we should how we can use this different philosophy, science, physics in our day-to-day Krishna worship. So let us read the purport of the first paragraph, because this is very big purport. We may not get much time to discuss the next shloka otherwise. Okay, so please read the first paragraph, Mataji. Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mathaji.
Dandavat.
Learning in art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection. This perfection of life culminates in the realization of the Supreme Being, Vishnu. The Shruti therefore directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, persons who are enamored by the external beauty of Vishnu Maya do not understand that culmination of perfection or self-realization depends on Vishnu. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyment, which is transient and miserable. Those who are entrapped by Vishnu Maya utilize advancement of knowledge for sense enjoyment. Sri Narada Muni has explained that all paraphernalia of the cosmic universe is but an emanation from the Lord. Has set in motion by his inconceivable energy the actions and reactions of the created manifestation. They have come to be out of his energy, they rest on his energy, and after annihilation they merge into him. Nothing is therefore different from him, but at the same time the Lord is always different from them. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. So usually those people who are very intellectual, they tend to avoid or they reject the worship of Lord Sri Krishna. They say this is the work of, less intelligent people. This is the done by those who don't understand what progress science has made. Yeah. So because here what Narad Muni is saying, that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, the more you become advanced in knowledge, there is more need that you, because your intellectual level is high, you should understand the purpose of your life. So here in the first line of the purport, Prabhupada tells that human intellect is developed for advancement in learning art. Yes, we advance in so many things: art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, and so on. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. But this perfection of life culminates in the realization of the Supreme Being, Vishnu. If you are this knowledge, the knowledge about science, the knowledge about arts, the knowledge about philosophy, if it is not useful, if it is not taking you towards Krishna, then that knowledge, then that gaining of knowledge is of no use, because ultimately all the knowledge, Vedescha sarve aham eva vedyah. Even the Vedas, the culmination of all the Vedas is into knowing the Supreme Personality of God. Krishna says, no? Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Only ever you should come and take my shelter. Whoever you are, whatever knowledge you have, whatever religion you are following, whatever, how much ever intelligent you are, leave all the different types of dharmas. Come and surrender to me, because you should know what is the ultimate good of your life, ultimate purpose of your life. What is our priority?
Mataji, one small doubt, Mataji. It means that, see, like students are studying different subjects, right? Science, economics.
Yeah.
So how to practically apply, Mataji? Like you are saying that.
Okay. Practically application, how to be done? Same thing. Maybe Prabhupada understood your question. The second paragraph of this is giving the entire application of all the things. How to apply science, how to apply arts. But we are not reading because it's, it's all the application part. Maybe you can read the purport later. Okay. So, and everything
because
is
they say, na, see, for example, if you're studying,
for
think of
example,
Krishna.
here it is given. Can you see this? I'm highlighting something. Randomly, I'm highlighting. Philosophy and science should be engaged to establish the glory of Lord. A philosophical person, a writer maybe, yeah, what he can write about the glories of the Lord, right? A poet, Valmiki was a great poet. Prabhupada is telling Valmiki was a great poet. Vyasdev was a great writer, and both of them have absolutely engaged themselves in delineating and the transcendental activities of the Lord. Similarly, gives any field of knowledge you take.
Mataji, I'm asking for school students. Na, they are reading so many subjects.
Yes.
So how can they keep Krishna in the center? That is what my doubt.
Because along with giving them those subjects, you hand over them the Mahabharata. You hand them over with the Ramayana book.
Side by side, Bhagavad Gita and
how this knowledge will increase. Their knowledge will also increase by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Right? Because see, many people tell that it is what we are still very young. We don't need this Bhagavad Gita right now. But what is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the manual of life. Bhagavad Gita should be given to the children's hand as soon as they start reading ABCD. Immediately hand over the Bhagavad Gita, tell them the stories of Krishna. Yeah, what we do tell the stories of Krishna, but when they start growing up, that time they leave these books and take something which is more attractive. And why are those things more attractive? Because those things are handled by Maya. Yeah, and Maya is very powerful. It's not that Maya can defeat Krishna, but because the effect of Maya on the children is so much that they tend to neglect the best part which can happen to their life, like reading the scriptures, getting inclined towards, and also it depends on a quite a large extent on the parents also, and also on their karma also. We can always not put only parents responsible. It's their karma also. Some children take it, some children do not take it. So, but what we can do as parents, as teachers, as
Mataji, I have seen so many of my friends, kids and all. They start in the later age, after college.
Sorry,
like that they read.
Yeah, we can
every Vidyaniketan school is studying Bhagavad Gita, Mataji.
Sorry?
Every Vidyaniketan school is studying Gita, Mataji. Yeah, that my daughter also studied Bhagavad Gita in KG classes started.
Yeah, this is a very, very deep topic, how to bring children to Krishna consciousness. Yeah, but at least we can start by, making them aware of what is wrong in the material life and what is good in the spiritual life. And we have to make them aware that the spiritual life and material life has to go hand in hand. They cannot leave the spiritual life just to go towards the material life. Okay, that is how I will just end the discussion here about grooming the children, because that is entirely a different, very big topic. We will not go into details of that right now. But any field of knowledge, any field you choose that can take you to Krishna, just like we have our Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Mumbai. A very simple example I am giving. They are all doctors, but they are utilizing their knowledge and their skills, yeah, to treat the people, and also by the same time to bring them into bhakti. Is it not? So similarly, the teachers, what can teachers do? By giving your classes, you also introduce spirituality in the classes. Yeah. So you take any field that you can think of how to connect it to Krishna. That is what Narad Muni is telling you, that Vyasdev should teach this. And that is how he is teaching in the Bhagavatam. Okay. So we need to, what I was saying is Nityam Bhagavata Seva, why it is important. That is the reason, because when we read and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, our vision, our thinking towards our material life, towards the problems of our material life changes. We see towards the problems in a very positive way, because we know that Krishna is there to take me out from all these problems. And this helps us a lot to, give us ourselves strengths in the very difficulties of our life. Okay. So let us go ahead for the third shloka, and maybe at the end, if time permits, we can discuss some topics here. Yeah. So yes, who has raised the hands now? Divya Mataji, you may read the shloka and the translation, and I will need one more Mataji or Prabhuji to read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Shloka 23. Aham puratita bhave bhavam mune dasyastu kasyachane veda vadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam sushrusane pravisi nirvivikshasatam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Muni, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of a certain maid servant engaged in the service of Brahmanas who were following the principles of Vedanta. When they were living together during the 4 months of the rainy season, I was engaged in their personal service. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So one may feel now suddenly why Narad Muni is telling about his previous life. Yeah, because just now he has told, he has, he has suggested Vyasdev to describe the glories of the Lord. Yeah, and how they can benefit. They can benefit when the people who come in touch with those people who are glorifying the Lord. So he is giving his own example that when I was a small child, I was just a son of a maid servant. I was not a very rich person. I was not a very educated person. I was not a very intelligent person. I was just a small child of a maid servant. And that time I came in contact with some people, you can say some devotees of the Lord, who were glorifying the Lord. That, when during the Chaturmasya period, just now, tomorrow it is going to end, our Chaturmasya period. So in the 4 months, the different rishis and munis, they don't travel. Usually the mendicants are there. They will never stay in one place for the entire year. Okay, they don't have their own house. They will just travel, preach. They will sing the glories of the Lord. They will give Harinam to everybody, and they will go on moving in the different places. But as soon as the Chaturmasya comes, the 4 months, they do not travel in those periods. They will stay in one place. They will sit there. They will stay in somebody's house as guest. Or if nobody is there, they will stay in create some hut and stay there for 4 months. And they will utilize most of the time in the glorifying, in the remembrance of the Lord, and in the chanting and glorifying the names of the Lord, rather than moving around, spending more time in moving. They spend more time in remembering the Lord. That is why they stay in one place. So like that, these great souls, the Brahmanas, who came to stay in the house where this lady, Narad Muni's mother, she was a maid servant. So these people were staying in that house, and Narad Muni got a chance to serve these great people. So he used to hear from them that day. He used to take the uchishta, the remnants of their food he used to eat. And by hearing, by taking Mahaprasad, by serving them, he got liberated. And then we can see the result. In the next birth, he became Narad Muni. Okay, so the entire story is there in the coming chapter. But let us see what this purport is. So this purport we need to, read a little bit slower, because every line is our takeaway point from this purport. Very, very powerful purport Prabhupada has written here for our understanding and for our benefit. So let us read the purport slowly. Shanmuga Priya Mataji. Can you read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I
Mataji,
hope
can
I
you please
took your name
enlarge
properly.
the font size, please?
Sorry, Mataji.
Mataji, can you hear me? Can you please increase the font size?
Increase the font size, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Mataji.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Is this enough, Mataji?
It's okay, Mataji. It's enough.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, the wonder of an atmosphere surcharged with a devotional service to the Lord is briefly described herein by Sri Narada Muni. He was the son of the
Mataji will go
most
slowly.
significant.
Haribol?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare.
So here he's
He was
telling.
the
No. I mean, you stop after the sentences. I want to speak a little bit after that.
yeah, sure, Mataji.
And then again, you can read ahead like that. Okay. Some sentences are very, means we don't need to explain on every sentence. Few sentences I want to talk about a little bit and then we can go ahead. So yes, the wonder of an atmosphere surcharged with devotional service to the Lord. So when the Brahmanas came and stayed to Narad Muni's house, naturally the environment around, because of the association of the devotees, the environment became very positive, very, surcharged with devotional service. So they were chanting Krishna's name, they were maybe worshipping, maybe they were having their own deities along with them. So they must be doing the service towards the deities. They were reciting the shlokas, they were chanting, okay, they were narrating the stories of Krishna. Therefore, the atmosphere altogether in that house, the atmosphere had become very positive, very vibrant, very spiritual. That is how, see, so therefore, why do we chant loudly? I tell this many times during whenever I get a chance to speak about it. So we should chant Krishna's name a little louder. Even when we are doing our japa, our morning chanting, we should chant it a little bit louder because it changes the atmosphere. If you are chanting in your mind, vibrations do not enter the room. Okay, and when these vibrations are entering the room, who is getting benefited? You are getting benefited. A person who is not willing to chant but is sitting there, but he is not willing to chant, he also hears and he gets benefited. The different insects in your house, maybe some ants are there, maybe some cockroaches there, maybe some spiders are there, maybe some insects, some things which are there in the air which you cannot even see with your own hands, own eyes, but those jivas are there, those souls are there. They hear when you chant louder and they also get benefited. That is called as agyata sukruti. Okay, they cannot chant, they cannot take Krishna's name with their own mouth. Only in the human form of life we are so fortunate to be able to recite Krishna's name. But when
even plants and trees, Mataji.
Sorry?
Plants and trees also.
They also hear it, and how does it help them? So after their death, because they have heard the name of Krishna, they may get a better yoni. They may get a better life better type of life than they are actually in. And that is how they get upgraded. And some point of time, they may get a fortune of getting a human form of life. That is why just here these all people where they're staying in Narad Muni's house, and therefore the entire atmosphere was surcharged with the devotional vibrations. Okay, that is how he started benefiting. Yes, Mataji, please read second statement.
He was the son of the most insignificant parentage. He was not properly educated. Still, because his complete energy was engaged in the service of the Lord, he became an immortal star.
He became immortal sage in the next slide. Yes.
Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yes.
Such is the powerful action of the devotional service. The living entities are the marginal energy of the Lord, and therefore they are meant for being properly utilized in the transitional loving service of the Lord.
Yeah.
When this is not...
Yeah. Please wait. So here again now Srila Prabhupada is telling that we, all the living entities, are the marginal energy of the Lord. And the energy of the Lord should work for the pacification of the Lord, for pacifying the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord. And because we are his energy. So energy should work for energetic. Yeah. So always we should remember that Krishna is the creator. We are the created beings. He is the original source of energy. We are his energy. That is why we have to engage for his pacification. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
When this is not done, one situation is called Maya. Therefore,
We are
the
not doing
illusion
that,
of
then we
Maya.
are in Maya. Yes, Mataji.
Therefore, the illusion of Maya is at once dissipated as soon as one fulfilled energy is converted in the service of the Lord instead of in sense enjoyment.
Yes.
Okay.
So instead of
the
doing
personal
enjoyment, we should utilize all our activities for the pleasure of the Lord, in the service of the Lord. Then Maya will not affect us. Otherwise, Maya is very ready to grab us and bind us with the ropes. Okay. Yes.
From the personal example of Sri Narada Muni in this previous work, it is clear that the service of the Lord begins with the service of the Lord's bona fide servants.
Yes,
The Lord
Mataji.
says that.
Yes,
The
very
Lord says
important
that.
statement. Very important statement. Again, I'll read. From the personal example of Sri Narada Muni in his previous birth, it is clear that the service of the Lord begins with the service of the Lord's bona fide servants. Das, dasanudas. Okay, just as we get pleased when somebody is glorifying us. Okay, if somebody says, Mataji, you know, maybe your sari is very nice. Okay, I'm just giving a big. So I'll be very happy if somebody is saying, Mataji, your sari is very nice. But I will be more happy if somebody is very pleased with my son or my daughter. If somebody comes and says, Mataji, your daughter, she's such a wonderful person. You have given her such nice things. She's so polite. She's so cooperative, this and that. I will be more happy than somebody when glorified my sorry. Okay. Because I am more happy when somebody is happy with my kids, when somebody is glorifying my kids, with somebody is, they are giving pleasure to my kids. That is how Krishna is more pleased when we are glorifying his devotees, when we are serving his devotees. And even that, if we are glorifying and serving the devotees of his devotees, dasanudas, the more lower level you go and serve, the more Krishna is attracted, the more Krishna is happy, because you are serving not only his children. Yeah, because you can see, the grandparents, they are more happy when their grandchildren are when their grandchildren are more pleased. So they become more happy. Like that, Krishna is even more happy when his devotees are pleased. Therefore, the first step to serve the Lord is not to directly go and serve Krishna. It is to serve his bona fide devotees or the devotees of his devotees, like that. Okay, yes, Mataji, please read.
The Lord says that the service of his servant is greater than his personal service. Service of the devotee is more valuable than the service of the Lord. Shall I, Mataji?
Yes, please.
One should therefore choose a bona fide servant of the Lord, constantly engaged in his service, accept such a servant as a spiritual master, and engage himself in the spiritual master, engage himself in his service. Such a spiritual master is the transparent medium by which to visualize the Lord, who is beyond the conception of the material senses. By service of the bona fide spiritual master, the Lord consents to reveal himself in proportion to the service rendered. Utilization of the human energy in the service of the Lord is the progressive path of salvation.
Yes.
Shall we?
Yeah. We utilize our energy in the service of the Lord. That is the only way of our salvation, of our getting out of this cycle of continuous birth and death. Yes, Mataji.
The whole cosmic creation between at once identical with the Lord as soon as service in relationship with the Lord is rendered under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. The expert spiritual master knows the art of utilizing everything to glorify the Lord. And therefore, under his guidance, the whole world can be turned into the spiritual abode by the divine grace of the Lord's servant. Hare Krishna.
So the spiritual master very nicely knows how to utilize every of his disciples, capabilities. I'll give you a very, very nice example. I just recently heard it in one lecture about Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada, in one of his centers, there was one brahmachari devotee, and he came to know that Prabhupada is going to make him the temple president. And he was not very much positive of becoming a temple president, because he knew that temple president means there are so many responsibilities, so much of headache is there, manage this, manage that. I don't want to do this. I just want to do my regular services, chant Krishna's name, and I want to be happy. That was his intention. But he came to know that Prabhupada is going to make you a temple president. So one day when Prabhupada was approaching him, he was going through, and this person was continuously avoiding Prabhupada. He did not want to face a Prabhupada so that he can avoid that situation when Prabhupada will make him a temple president. So one day Prabhupada catches hold of this person and he tells, and he's very worried what to do. So he says, Prabhupada, I want to say something. Prabhupada says, okay, you can tell me something. First, I want to tell you something. So he says, now he's worried what to do. Prabhupada will tell me what. So Prabhupada says, okay, I want you to get married. Now he's a brahmachari. He doesn't want to get married. So he says, no, Prabhupada, how can you say that? I don't want to get married. I'm a brahmachari. I am going to be staying in this ashram only. Prabhupada says, no, you should get married. So he becomes very cranky. He says, please, Prabhupada, don't make me to marry somebody. Instead of that, whatever you tell, I'm going to ready to do that, please. But I don't want to get married. So Prabhupada says, okay, then I appoint you as the temple president. You become temple president. So that is how he encouraged his devotee to accept, because he knew the capabilities of the devotee. So under the spiritual master's guidance, whatever instruction comes, a person should be ready to do that, because he is the person who knows the best of your capabilities. He is the person who knows how you can reach one step more closer to Krishna, how you can do progress in your spiritual life. That is why the necessity of the spiritual master, the position of a spiritual master in our life plays a very important role for advancement in our spiritual life. On this note, let us stop today. If there are any questions, if there are any suggestions, if there are any points to be discussed, we are open for 2 minutes. Then we will read the first shloka and then we will stop. Any questions? I will just open the first shloka.
Yes, Mataji. Anyone wants to recite the first 3 slokas?
Mataji, can I recite?
Yes, Mataji, I'll just share.
Sudha Mataji. Sure, Mataji.
Yeah. Do you want English or Sanskrit?
Both, like this is
Both.
English,
Okay.
yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvayat itaratas charteshvabhignaswarat तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. धर्म प्रोजित कैत्रवोत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्. श्रीमद् भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृत्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात्. निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसं युतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the opportunity.
Mataji, are we doing this one, Damodarashtakam?
Okay, I am not aware, Mataji. You should do, huh?
Normally.
Okay, so I should display that?
Yeah, Mataji. Anyone wants to sing, or yesterday I sang? I think. Anyone wants to sing Damodar Ashtakam, or I can sing, no problem. I will sing today.
Okay, Mataji. Whatever I could find easily, I'm just sharing it.
Yeah, Mataji. No, Mataji, verses I have. Your temple altar, I mean.
Acha, you want to see the altar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you show the Damodar Arti, I can sing. I have the verses.
Okay. Just 1 minute, Mataji, just give me.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. You want to show the Arati, Mataji? I will sing.
Yeah. You sing. I'll just put on the diya and show the Arati.
Yeah,
Can you see the details, Mataji? I'm not able to see it because. Is it visible?
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
I will stop the share. Is it okay?
No, I mean Gauranita is shown. First it
No.
Damodar was
Damodar
shown.
Ashtakam, I will stop sharing, no? So that you can see it more nicely. Can you see it?
I
don't
think
know
that's,
whether...
that's better. That's better.
Okay. Then you can start. I will offer the lamp. You can start, Mataji.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले प्राजमनं यशोधाभ्यो लोकलादवमानं परांशमत्यन्ततो धृत्यगोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तम् कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकं पात्रीरेकाङ्ककण्ठा स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति त्रिक्ष्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तजितत्वम् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सता वृत्तिवन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चन्यं वृणेऽहं वरिसादपीहा इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्याविराष्टं किमन्यै इदं ते मुकाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलै वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादरं मे मनस्याविराष्टामलं लक्षलाभ्यै नमो देवदामोदरनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणेश मामग्नं विदिक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुत्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मुचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्य प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोधरायात विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमोऽनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा जय यशोदानंदन जय यशोदानंदन जय यशोदानंदन जय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय राधा माधव राधे राधे जय जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल जय प्रेमानंदे हरि
Thank
हरि
you so
बोल
much, Mataji.
हरि बोल सुपर दर्शन माताजी थैंक यू
I was not knowing, I was not prepared actually for that.
No, very nice, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu
कृपा सिंधु केवच पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
अनंत
नमो
कोटि
नमः।
वैष्णववृंद की जय
वृंद
श्रील
की जय
प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद
की
की
जय
जय।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. प्रणाम माताजी।
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare
प्रणाम
Krishna.
माताजी थैंक यू
हरे कृष्ण प्रणाम माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम
Krishna.
नाइस ऑल्टर माताजी
Thank you so much, Mataji.